Hello again and welcome back to our tutorial series on magic and sleight of hand. Today I'm going to be teaching you the glide. Yesterday we learned how to control a card using the overhand shuffle, and I'll just quickly show you that again. Say for instance you had the King of Clubs selected by a spectator. You could then receive it back on the top of the deck and shuffle the deck in such a way that it would look like you had lost the King of Clubs. Now, if you don't follow that, please go back and view the previous video because I did explain that very carefully in that video. Now, in order to use the glide, you're going to have to use that other little lesson we had yesterday of controlling the card to the bottom of the deck. And there are many ways that you can make this more convincing, but we'll go over those in later videos. For today, we're going to learn the glide. So what I've done, I've controlled our King of Clubs to the bottom of the deck. So what you can do with this is if you were to take the King of Clubs and place it on the table, if you click your fingers, the King of Clubs will change into the Queen of Hearts. Now there's lots of stuff you can do with this. You could do it as a colour change. You could say, okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to place cards down from the bottom of the deck until you call stop and have your spectator actually stop where they want their card to be. So if they said stop here, we would have the King of Clubs at the top of the deck. And this is what I'm going to be showing you today. It's called the glide. I'm also, just before we get into the tutorial, I'm just going to show you a really nice trick with this. We're going to use the King again. So just imagine that you've had it returned back to the deck, you've done your control, and you take it to the bottom. What we're going to do is we're going to ask the spectator to split the deck into 3 piles, giving them 3 chances to find their own card. So if that's how they do it, what we'd do is we'd say we're going to show you the 3 cards that you've cut to with your selection, but I would like you to lie to me in order that you're going to protect the location of your card, the identity of your card. So what we'd do is we would pick up the first pile, we'd say, is that your card? Remembering that the spectator has to lie, so they're going to say no, no matter what happens. You would then take the deck like so and place that card face down here. You'd then place all of these on top of the next packet and say, okay, so is this your card? The Queen of Clubs, and obviously it's not, we're looking for the King of Clubs. So you then take the Queen of Clubs and place it down, remembering of course that they're going to lie about this. You then place the rest of the cards on top of the remainder of the deck, pick up the deck, show the bottom card. Now they're going to see their card at this point and they're going to lie to you. So you might get a laugh, you might get a bit of a giggle, but just plow on anyway. When you take the card and place it down, that's when you make the glide, you see. And I'm going to show you the glide in just a second. So this card now actually isn't the King of Clubs, but your spectator will believe that it is. So what you'd do then is you'd say, so none of these 3 cards are the card that you selected, so you couldn't find your card in the cutting process. What I want for you to do is just give me a number, any number between 1 to 10, so we'll go with 6, and what you would do is you would deal out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, they think their card's there. So again, you could do the proposition style bet thing here if you wanted. You can add any patter to this that you want. But when you click your fingers, the card that they selected is actually at the number you counted down to. So you can use this in a load of different ways, and I think it's a great little trick. The glide is a brilliant utility move. So we're going to learn how to do the glide. I'll cut back to this, I won't be a second. Okay guys, so for this tutorial we're going to use the King of Clubs as it was the card we used in the example. So what you would do is you'd have the card selected using your overhand shuffle. You'd take the card back on top of the deck, shuffle the cards, better than that, do it so you peel off half the cards and then shuffle off into your in-jog. You'd then move the card to the bottom of the deck, and that was perhaps a slightly different way of doing things, but that's how I've done it. And I've done it wrong, so make sure you practice this sort of thing. Warts and all today, warts and all. I've got the King of Clubs at the top of the deck, so what you do then is you do the little overhand shuffle control to control the King of Clubs to the bottom of the deck, because you need the selected card, or whichever card it is you're using, at the bottom to perform the glide. So what happens is when you take the card it changes into, say, any indifferent card. It looks better as well. This actual type of effect here is known as a colour change, when you change one card into another. But I'm going to show you exactly how this works. So, with the King of Clubs at the bottom of the deck, all I do is I angle my hand down into this position, which is the glide position. So I've got all 4 fingers on this side and my thumb on the bottom, ready for the glide. My little finger is just here, and that should just cover the pip, well, the letter or the number, whichever it is, in that little corner there. So as I turn my hand down, my little finger pulls back just slightly, which leaves it in this position. So it kind of looks like the in-jog. You can see I've just got this tiny face of the King of Diamonds exposed, and I can take it when I want. So there's many different things you can do with this. So you could ask the spectator, as I said, to call out any number of cards, and all I'm doing is I'm grabbing the cards from above the King of Clubs, because I've got the King of Clubs in that glide position, just like that. It's really simple. In the case of that that three-way trick where you ask them to select the thing, all they do is they cut the cards 3 times. You have to kind of build this up so that they believe they're going to try and cut to their card, perhaps even get them to repeat to themselves as they do it, I will cut to my card, I will cut to my card. Now, they do cut to their card because their card's on the bottom the whole time, so you have to remember the location of that, and you start the opposite end. Now what you do is you fake doing the glide on the first 2 piles. So for this card, you actually place the 2 of spades down, and then you put those on top. You take this card, so you said no, it's not their card, they're going to lie to you because you've asked them to lie, so the 4 of hearts you actually place down. But this gives you all the opportunity in the world to get comfortable for your glide, and then you pick these up, you get into the glide position, and you show this card, and they're going to lie, but this is their card. So then I make my glide, and I take the card above that card, and I say, okay, so name a number, any number between, say, 1 and 10, 1 and 20, whatever it is. At this point, for an extra convincer, if you wanted, you could give the cards a little mix while you're talking, and that would actually be a great little addition to the misdirection of this trick. So we've still got the King of Clubs at the bottom, and then what you would do is you would use the glide again. Another nice little thing that you can do here if you want is, once you've got these 3 cards down and they suspect this is their card, pull off the glide, take the next card and point to the 3 cards. So your card is none of these cards, and then you place that on the bottom, which covers your King of Clubs, you see. So then when you come to do the count, you'd count 1 card, make your glide, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and just say they said 8. So if they've said 8, we would then have their card there, and you're free to reveal that in any way you want. But that's today's lesson on the glide, guys. I hope you have loads of fun with that. Another thing that you can do with that, and this is just a little chuck away thing, you could do a little mind reading thing. We could use the bottom card of the deck after having the deck handed out and shuffled. So say for instance they were to shuffle the cards like so, or give the cards an overhand shuffle. We'll get the cards back, make a peek, how I taught you in one of the other videos. At the moment I've got the 10 of hearts at the bottom of the deck. So what you would then do is you'd say, okay, so just name a number, give me a number, any number. So they could say anything from 1 to 30 to 40, wherever. We're just going to go with 8 again. But then you could deal out 8 cards, and I don't know, I've lost count. Well, that's 8. That is 8, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I can count even when I'm not counting. That's magic. So you know what this top card is now. This is the 10 of hearts. You can ask them to have a look at it. Don't show anybody else. And then you could go into a whole sort of look into my eye, let me touch your hand, check for palm reading and that sort of thing. But you could tell them that their freely selected card from a shuffled deck was the 10 of hearts. And that is a way of using the glide as what's known as a force in card magic. So today we've learnt how to use the glide as a force, we've learnt how to use the glide as a colour change, and we've also learned how to use the glide in a very nice trick. And that's all for today, guys. Thank you very much. I hope you've enjoyed the video. We'll talk soon. Bye bye. Alright, so today we learnt the glide. I just watched back through what I've recorded. Unfortunately this week I'm working loads, so some of these videos might look a little bit rushed. I'm really sorry. If you do have any questions or if you want me to go back over something, let me know, and as soon as I've got the time, I'm going to make everything a bit more detailed. I'm really sorry. I'm just trying to keep up to date with my promise of a video every day, because I want the people who are watching every day to have something to come back to. So today we learnt the glide. One thing I noticed I didn't explain is that as you angle your hand down, you really want all of these fingers to just protect the exposed angle, especially at the back of this sticky outy card, if you see what I mean. So from there, you would never know, except for from the bottom, but from the top, you would never know that this is being glided, if you see what I mean. With the mind reading stuff, yeah, there's kind of this sort of two ways of doing it. So what you could do is, if you have the card, if you have them shuffle the deck, give it you back, get them to pick a card, any card, they would you could then control the card to the bottom and use the glide as a reveal. So you could get them to give you a number, or you could get them to pick their card by giving you a number, which would mean that you would actually know the location of the card because you've utilised the peek that I taught you in, I think it was an early lesson 2 or 3. No, 3 or 4. Maybe lesson 3. Lesson 3 I would have taught you the peek. So, you know, you could do this this turny over peek that I showed you in that lesson. So you know what the bottom card is, and then you're going to force the bottom card using the glide. I know these are rushed. I really want to be able to spend more time on it and up the quality of the videos. I'm actually looking at the moment into getting myself a nice sort of 1080p camera, because I've struggled. Well, I thought I could use my phone. If I could get somebody here to help me film, I can use my phone and we can up the quality, and also I can take feedback from them as I'm recording, so I can up the quality again in terms of content. But for now, guys, hopefully you're not struggling with this. As always, I think you're going to need a nice quality deck of cards, and I recommend bicycle cards. You can go to alakazam.co.uk or many other of the magical suppliers to get those. And also, if you've got small hands, if you're young, you can buy bicycle mini decks, which are, as I've said, about half the size of a regular deck of 808 playing cards, and they're the same quality, so you'll be able to do everything that I'm doing with this deck with that miniature deck of cards. But what I want for you to do now, guys, if you've watched this far, is to please like the video, because that helps me loads. Leave a little comment just to tell me how you're getting on with your learning process, and also subscribe. If you want to see more of these videos, please subscribe. All that sort of feedback really does help me, and I do check the comments, and I love hearing from you all. So thank you very much, guys. As I say, like, comment, rate, and subscribe, and we'll see you tomorrow in the next video. Thank you very much. I've been the Prestidigator, or Pengy Pro Magic, as people from my other channel might know me. Please go over and check that out, and I'll see you again. Have a good day. See you later. Bye bye.